Madrid are reportedly interested in Arsenal superstar Gabriel Jesus and Chelsea superstar Raheem Sterling. Gabriel Jesus has got off to a great start since joining Arsenal, with many feeling he is finally getting the respect he deserves. Things could have been different for the former Manchester City striker. Real Madrid had an interest in signing the Brazilian striker as the possible heir to Karim Benzema's throne. Arsenal will be delighted a deal never formulated. Carlo Ancelotti really wanted the player, but a deal couldn't be completed. According to Fabrizio Romano, Gabriel Jesus was wanted by Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid before committing his future to Arsenal this transfer window. The European champions wanted the player, but a deal was complicated due to the fact Gabriel Jesus possessed a non-EU passport. Gabriel Jesus has gone on to shine for Arsenal since signing, with many people finally feeling he is getting the respect he deserves. The Brazilian is now the main man, and the responsibility is something he seems to relish instead of shy away from. Carlo Ancelotti told Real Madrid the player was the perfect fit, but the deal was impossible due to his non-EU passport. This would prove to be much to the relief of Arsenal, who had the player as a #1 target. Manchester City may end up regretting allowing Gabriel Jesus to leave if he continue to play the way he's playing at the minute. With the Brazilian in scintillating form, Real Madrid are set to launch a bid for Arsenal star Gabriel Jesus next summer, according to reports. The Brazilian was linked with the Spanish giants in the summer, only for them to pull out of the running. Madrid reportedly decided against the move because of an issue with Jesus' passport. Despite this, he remains a player that boss Carlo Ancelotti admires. According to Goal, Jesus is on the 5-man shortlist compiled by the Italian. They claim that Ancelotti sees him as a perfect understudy, and potential successor, to Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema. Gabriel Jesus has contributed to Arsenal's strong start to the season. The former Manchester City man has scored 5 goals in 11 Prem outings, also laying on 4 assists. Arsenal's form has them second in the table, with the possibility of leapfrogging City back into top spot if they beat Nottingham Forest this afternoon. Also on Madrid's shortlist are Alphonso Davies, Endrick, Enzo Fernandez and Piero Hincapié. Earlier this month, Jesus told BT Sport of the bond he already feels with Arsenal fans. He said, "In the first days when I signed here I went to a Brazilian restaurant. I was waiting in my car outside, and a lot of Arsenal fans came to say welcome to the club. It is different at Manchester City of course. City have had a lot of impact in the last 10, 15 years. Arsenal before that had a lot. It's different, you know. I feel that welcome, the way they come to talk to me, they are supporting you to the end." Exactly. I was happy with the fans at City as well, but it's different. Manchester City's Gabriel Jesus has been offered to both Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid. According to a report from Cadena Ser's Anton Mina, Jesus' agents have reached both clubs, explaining that the player would seek a negation $5 million-year contract. Atletico de Madrid have rejected the idea of signing Gabriel Jesus, while Real Madrid would apparently be interested in the Brazilian striker, per that same report. However, Gabriel Jesus is a non-EU player and that would make things quite difficult for Los Blancos. Vinicius, Rodrigo and Militao are still non-EU players, and while Vinicius is about to get his Spanish passport, Gabriel Jesus could not be registered as a Real Madrid player until that happens. Given that clubs can only have 3 non-EU players on their rosters, Gabriel Jesus makes sense for Real Madrid, as he's good enough to replace Karim Benzema when needed. His contract expires in 2023, so he would not be an expensive signing. Furthermore, he's still 25 years old, so he could potentially be Madrid's starter when Benzema enters his decline or retires, at least until Los Blancos find another world-class striker. Raheem Sterling has been offered to Real Madrid and some of Europe's top clubs. The Manchester City forward believes his time under Pep Guardiola is over and he is looking for his next move. He has a contract at City until 2023 and the Premier League champions are willing to sell him. Transfermarkt currently values him at a negation $85 million. The winger, who can play on either wing, arrived at the Etihad Stadium in 2015 for a negation $65 million. Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Chelsea have also been offered the player. Sterling's intention to leave City is nothing new. If there was an opportunity to go somewhere else, I would be open to it. I should learn a language. I quite like the French and Spanish accents, he previously said at the Business of Sport US Summit. In an interview with AS in February 2020, he was also openly keen on Real Madrid. Now I'm at City and I'm very happy, but Madrid is a fantastic club. When you see the white shirt you know exactly what the club represents. It's huge. Although I have to say that I have a big contract with City and I have to respect that. But Madrid is a fantastic club, in a country with incredible weather. I'm a player who is always open to challenges. As things stand, Sterling does not fit into Real Madrid's plans. He is a pure winger, and although he can play on either flank, it is a position that Madrid have well covered. On the left, Carlo Ancelotti has options in Vinicius and Eden Hazard, and on the right, he has Rodrigo and Marco Asensio. If Asensio leaves Madrid, Bayern's Serge Gnabry, who is also being offered to Real Madrid, could be the man to come in. Madrid are also focusing their efforts on Monaco midfielder copyright Linchuam copyright Ni. Real Madrid were careful spenders in the summer once again. They did bring in Aurelien Tchouameni in a big money move, and he has proven to be a super hit, and Antonio Rudiger on a free transfer. On the other hand, the likes of Casemiro, Gareth Bale, Isco and Marcelo ended up departing Santiago Bernabeu, after long stays at the club. Interestingly, it looks like there was the potential that Real Madrid could have made a move for Raheem Sterling in the summer, when he left Manchester City. Sterling would ultimately end up joining Chelsea in the summer, and has had an up-and-down time at Stamford Bridge, as the Blues shockingly sacked Thomas Tuchel early on in the campaign and brought in Graham Potter instead. As reported by AS, earlier in the summer, Sterling was within range. The player wanted to leave Manchester City and he was offered to Real Madrid, who weighed his incorporation, but the impossibility of registering him due to having no free non-EU spots knocked everything down. With Gabriel Jesus the situation was practically the same. It is interesting because that problem has now been solved. Vinicius Jr., Eder Militao and Rodrigo have all received their Spanish citizenship. That means that all three non-EU spots are open for Real Madrid and they will be able to make additions to their squad accordingly in the summer. It feels unlikely that they would consider a move for Sterling though, who has had a tough time since Tuchel departed Chelsea. Under the management of Potter, the Englishman has seemed to struggle, as he has often been played out of position as well. Now, it remains to be seen if he can rediscover his form as the season progresses, but the signs are not looking good. Real Madrid are reportedly considering a move for Manchester City forward Raheem Sterling as the citizens prepare to see their star enter the final 2 years of his contract. Mail Online Sami Maqbul reported Sterling's future at the Etihad Stadium is under increasing doubt after the club have failed to reward him with a new deal despite his superlative form for the club this season. Sterling's £180,000 per week deal is due to expire at the end of the 2019-20 campaign, and the club's lack of action to extend his stay is said to have put some of Europe's top outfits, including Real, on high alert. The 23-year-old is enjoying the best season of his career to date and has helped fire Manchester City to the top of the Premier League, playing a role in one of world football's most devastating attacks, per Empire of the Cop. Maqbul wrote of Real manager Zinedine Zidane's previous admiration for the player, and the Mirror's John Cross outlined Los Blancos as one particularly interested party. Unless contract negotiations begin soon, Sterling moved to the Etihad in 2015 and was recruited by Pep Guardiola's managerial predecessor, Manuel Pellegrini, but Goals Sammy Lee spoke of the former Liverpool star's improvement under the Spaniard this year. News of Real's supposed interest in Sterling has intensified just as the Spanish giants are thought to be losing patience with winger Gareth Bale, and Sergio Gomez has recently explored why he could be shipped out this summer. Sterling, on the other hand, has scored 20 goals in a single season for the first time in his career, just too short of doubling his previous best as part of City's dazzling attack, per Sky Sports Stato. Real's disappointing 2017-18 campaign thus far could enact a summer of change at the Santiago Bernabeu, but City will be able to hold out as well as any other club when it comes to selling a player they don't want to. as well as being just 23 years of age. Sterling also holds a versatility factor among the citizens' forward setup, Guardiola has said, via goal. City aren't likely to start fretting over Sterling's contract situation just yet, although the pressure could be on after Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva each earned extensions earlier on in the season. Real Madrid are ramping up their pursuit of Raheem Sterling on the back of Chelsea's interest. According to reports, the winger is being tipped for a Manchester City exit after seeing a decline in game time over the last few years. He started 23 Premier League matches this season, the fewest number since the 2015-16 campaign. Sterling has been linked with a move to Chelsea as a result. The Blues reportedly wish to make a first statement signing under new owner Todd Boehly and his consortium. However, the Mirror reports that Madrid are now upping their interest. The Champions League winners missed out on Kylian Mbappé this summer after the superstar penned a new mega-money deal with Paris Saint-Germain last month. It forced them to rethink their transfer plans, and Sterling is supposedly a part of that. The England international has just 12 months left on his deal, so Barcelona are also keeping tabs on the player in the hopes of a cut-price deal after being put off by City's reported £70 valuation of Bernardo Silva. As the Men reported earlier today, Pep Guardiola cannot offer Sterling any guarantees over playing time given the ferociously competitive nature of the squad, and City bosses have left the player to decide for himself if he still feels they can offer him what he wants. It is understood, however, there has not yet been an approach to Sterling or to City from Chelsea to firm up the interest and put them as front-runners to sign him. Meanwhile, Football Insider claims Vincent Kompany is close to making City Academy youngster Taylor Harwood-Bellis his first signing as Burnley boss. The 20-year-old defender joined Stoke for the second half of the season and wishes to experience more first-team action.